Hello everyone, welcome to the JCast Network. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. We had the opportunity to attend HILLEL'S Renaissance Award Gala in New York City, honoring Randall, KAPLAN, and KATHY Manning. Let's take a closer look. Tell us why you decided to get involved in Hillel.
Well, we were involved in the Jewish world generally, and when I was approached actually by Richard Joel to get involved, and I saw that Hillel was perfectly positioned to deal with that transition when our children are moving from going off to college, which is where 90% of all Jewish kids go, and that they're trying to decide what they want to do and how they want to live their lives. And I felt like it was a perfect place to focus on engaging our new young adults into their Jewish journey. And so I got involved.
One of the great things about Hillel is that it's really for everyone. It doesn't matter really what spectrum of Judaism you're part of. How have you seen it impact your lives and the students?
Well, Hillel has really grown. I mean, at one time people thought of Hillel back 30 or 40 years as the synagogue on campus, and today it's really the Jewish Community Center on campus. And it engages students along the entire spectrum of non-involved to very involved. And we've really seen that the programs Hillel's put in place to create meaningful Jewish experiences has really transformed many students' lives. We hear people coming back from Birthright and alternative spring breaks and other social justice programs that just connect with their Judaism in a way that they never thought they would be connected, and it just puts them on their Jewish path. And I've seen Hillel become much more strategic about it and become very adept at figuring out how to engage Jewish students where they're at on campus and not sort of hope they come to the Hillel to get involved.
Hillel is like that. It's really a unique organization. It's not just a U.S. space anymore. It's really a global organization. What would you recommend people to learn more about Hillel? Like why should they get involved in Hillel now?
Well, I believe Hillel is going to deliver the Jewish future because it's the place where we have a chance to engage our children at that last moment in time before they go off into adulthood, but also it's developing the Jewish leaders of the future. It's a place where it's really it's a student-run organization that has a professional infrastructure, and it allows, and we work very hard to recruit students and develop them to be the future leaders of the Jewish community worldwide, globally. We're in Israel and in North America and in South America and in Eastern Europe. And in all those places we're connecting the Jewish community, the Jewish student community, and hopefully that's going to help us create a global Jewish community for the future.
Hillel is transforming campuses around the country. Having been a part of bringing Hillel to Binghamton University, seeing how it's grown on my alma mater, it's just amazing. Tell us why you decided to get involved in Hillel.
So I, like you, was a Jewish kid in college who also sort of found it a really meaningful time to explore what it meant to be Jewish for me. Fast forward many years later in my career, and I had the opportunity to answer really a good question from my wife, which was, are you going to be more happy as a lawyer, or are you going to be more happy working with college students at Hillel? And she knew the answer. The answer was that I would love spending time at places like Binghamton, at places around the country and around the world where Jewish students are all going. They all go to college, they go to university, and they explore themselves as much as they're exploring the universe and the ideas that they're exposed to. And what we've learned is that this generation, your generation of young people, have really taken a second look at their own Jewish identity. With all of the access to explore information, with the ability to travel around the world, to explore other cultures, it's really important that people feel grounded in an understanding of their own identity and really feel that college is a place where they can really sort of seek that out on their own, regardless of what their background is, if they know an awful lot or if they know very little. And so we try to be accommodating to all those different kind of questions that students are asking.
Especially now during the conflict on campuses, especially for Israel. Israel is an important part of the Hillel makeup. How have you advised, or how has Hillel advised college leaders to step up to the challenge and being there for Israel?
So look, first and foremost, an embrace of Israel, an understanding of its complexities and its nuances and its people, as well as its politics. The politics for Israel is not the starting point for most young people. It's actually an understanding of the people, the culture, the values, the tradition, the language, the food, the nightlife, all of the aspects that make up what people are passionate about Israel today. First and foremost, go visit. Spend time in Israel. Visit not like a tourist, visit like someone who's returning to figure out their own roots, their own understanding of the relationship with Israel and the Israeli people. So the campus is a place that brings out a lot of attention around Israel, and there's no question that Israel has nothing to hide. There's no place on campus, even where there are sometimes hostile voices. You know, we see them, we hear them, but at the same time, what I've found with young people is that they tend to reject people who are propagandistic, and there is a lot of propaganda on campus. Sometimes it actually comes from professors, sometimes it comes from people who aren't actually students, but just like to take advantage of the openness of the university as a way to sort of say whatever they want to say, and some of that speech really, frankly, is detestable. What we've seen is that Israel inspires not only Jewish students, but Jewish students and their friends who learn about it when people visit and post on their blogs or post YouTube videos about what their experiences are. I think it, frankly, is something that many people want to find out more about. Today, people don't just trust everything that they read in the newspaper. As you know, not everybody just even reads newspapers. They get their information via referrals from a lot of their friends and things that are passed on and shared. So we want to be part of that narrative. We want Jewish students on campus to explore Israel in their own ways. And we actually think that the net benefit for the Jewish community is also a benefit for the entire university community. Israel's an exciting, engaging place for the entire campus, and we hope that more people will come and visit and understand it and talk to students that visit there, whether it's a short-term trip like Birthright, or hopefully, like me, I went to Tel Aviv University during my junior year, and I just kept coming back because it really engaged me.
Sure. And like any organization, you evolve. Hillel has evolved since its inception. Where do you see it going?
Great. So we just recently recodified our vision for the future as part of a new strategic plan. And we articulated our vision statement in the following way: to inspire every Jewish student to make an enduring commitment to Jewish life, learning, and Israel. And by putting those three as our pillars, we sort of recognize that everyone can find a way to be involved and engaged around what their vision of the Jewish life will be going forward. But it's not only on campus. We want people to try, to explore, to experiment. If they came on campus and they've never explored Shabbat, we want them to explore Shabbat during college. And if they explored Shabbat only in one narrow way, we want them to explore it and be exposed to lots of different ways. For some, we may just have to say Shabbat's an example of chilling out. And that's okay, and you need that in order to deal with all the anxiety and the challenges of your work week. That's going to exist for you when you leave college as well. So here's an opportunity to explore. I think we feel that every Jewish student has a right to their own Jewish identity, to feel empowered, to feel that their narrative is as valuable and is as valued by the entire Jewish community. And I think if we can send that message during the college years, that the Jewish community has something really valuable to offer them, hopefully that's something that'll stick with them even if they forget some of the courses that they took.
One of the things that always comes is Birthright. And you know, what I call the plugging in effect. When they come back from a Birthright experience, how has Hillel engaged those people coming back?
Look, we've been a major beneficiary. People come back from a 10-day trip with questions. During the trip, they have questions. The biggest mistake we could make is thinking that anyone could answer any of life's questions on any 10-day experience and sort of then compartmentalize and say, okay, been there, done that. Birthright for Hillel represents the opening of those questions, the recognition that you can own those questions your entire life, and that the journey is not just about the trip, but the journey is about your exploration and your growth and learning over the rest of your lifetime. I love the fact that young people are responding with their feet, that they're literally going. They're hearing their friends say this is something that is worth trying and worth being on a waiting list and is worth experiencing yourself. And then once they do that, they have the rest of their life to unpack that and really explore what their own personal relationship is going to be with Judaism and with Israel and their own Jewish learning. But I think that component of learning is an important one because what we do know is that Birthright in many respects is a 101 level course. It opens up all the right topics, but it opens them up for deeper exploration. And that's where we want to be in that space. That's where Jewish educators, Israeli shlichim, and other resources that we're able to bring on campus are so nicely placed to be the next step for someone on a journey coming back from a trip like that.
Hi, my name is Andrea Spock. I'm a double jumbo. I went to Tufts undergrad and also to the medical school for a master's in public health. And Hillel has just been a phenomenal place and resource for me. Really feel that I learned to love my Jewish identity and find a lot of meaningful experiences there that have shaped the way I feel about things today. So I'm very glad to be here tonight.
Hi, my name is Daphna Feith. I go to Columbia, and Hillel has been the continuation of my Jewish identity forming, and it's given me a place to continue to celebrate Shabbat, which was an integral part of my upbringing all year round, from Jewish summer camp to Shabbatonim with my school and at my family table. So I really appreciate everything Hillel has done for me to continue that and to expand my Jewish identity.
Hi, my name is Sage Hiller. I go to Cornell University. My experience with Hillel at Cornell has been unlike I could have ever imagined. I'm a Reform Jew, so anytime I want to partake in anything Jewish, we have a spot on campus. I go to Shabbat dinners. I'm in AE Pi. So I'd say that Judaism is a big part of my life, and Hillel itself gives it a central place where everyone on campus can go and convene.
My name is Todd Siegel from Cleveland, Ohio. I go to the University of Michigan. I got involved in Hillel as a freshman. Really, to me, it wasn't even a question. It was on my agenda since high school. I saw it as like a home away from home for Jewish students. And what it means to me is it's a place to connect with other students, but it's also served as a great place for me to grow and develop as a leader in my leadership on campus, and in a way to continue impacting the Jewish community on campus throughout my time there.
So I'm Shira Moskowitz. I'm a sophomore at the University of Michigan. Hillel was a way for me to bring a little piece of home and my high school life into my college career. Started initially at the beginning of freshman year with services and having that connection, and then I was able to get involved in an alternative spring break and meet a bunch of awesome Jewish students as well.
As you can see, Hillel is transforming communities around the globe. This is Howard Herman, and thank you for watching.